that sits at the core of this project and also very close to many of our hearts, taking care of the Arctic. But what does it mean to take care of the Arctic? And why is it important to start with this question today? During the workshop from SPI yesterday, we highlighted some of the differences between the countries. How do we do things? How do we measure things? How do we gather data? But despite the differences in our communities, our municipalities, our countries, we do have one thing in common. We share one Arctic. So how can we, as an industry, help taking care of it in a way that supports sustainable municipalities, quality of life of the locals, and how can we also attract more inhabitants to move in our communities? These are some of the questions that we're going to tackle today, try to get some answers to. And to begin with, I would like to invite on stage Annika Fredriksson. Annika, she is the CEO of Swedish Lapland Visitors Board. Many of you know her very well already. And she's going to share how they have approached this topic from the Swedish Lapland Visitors Board side. And Annika, you have laid already some very good groundwork. So it's very exciting to hear how you have been working. And the stage is yours.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. A big applause for Annika.
Vad vi som människor gör, precis som vad vi i näringen och samhället gör, påverkar platsen och den vardag vi lever i. En ansvarsfull besöksnäring kommer alltid arbeta för lokalsamhällets bästa. För det här är även vårt hem. Vi som bor här nu var inte först och vi ska absolut inte vara sist. Så det är med respekt för de som har format det här till världens bästa plats, men också för kommande generationer som vi nu tar nästa steg. Care for the Arctic är vår agenda för hur vi kan möta de utmaningar vi gemensamt står inför, lokalt och globalt. För mer än 20 år sedan bildades det som nu är Swedish Lapland Visitors Board. En samverkansplattform för att stärka besöksnäringens förutsättningar och potential. Listan över vad som gör just vår plats unik kan göras hur lång som helst. Ett arktiskt kulturarv, våra traditioner och nedärvda kunskaper. Men självklart också vår natur. Här finns Sveriges mest alpina miljöer, de stora skogsälvarna och de första och största nationalparkerna. Men här finns också universitetsstäder, brukssamhällen och små byagemenskaper. Från fjällens toppar till Bottenvikens stränder lever vi vårt liv under norrsken och midnattsljus. Ett rikt liv som på alla sätt förtjänar vår respekt och omsorg. Tillsammans och bara tillsammans kan vi göra den här platsen bättre. Det här är vårt hem och vi vill förstås också att framtiden ska vara välkommen att dela vår arktiska vardag.
Thank you. Will you start the presentation?
I'm doing a shorter presentation, I would say that. So I'm doing also some shortcuts because we would like to move a bit the schedule or the program a bit not further on, but we have to do the next seminar and the workshop a bit earlier than what it is in the program. But I try to give you an idea of what Care for the Arctic, It's Our Home is, and how it can be used, by whom, and also in some way where we're going with this. Care for the Arctic, it's a joint agenda, a toolbox, but also a method. I think that it's important this about the approach, because it's not about words, it's really about actions. And if you have a proactive stance, it inspires some people, and that kind of people we want to do a joint journey with. People and businesses, of course. But you must also be aware of that Care for the Arctic is not a label or something. It's what we hope, an inclusive and engaging method. So you saw the sign also. It has been some people that has contacted us and to ask questions. We want to be certified by this and this, but it's really important that this is not a certification or something. This is like this method. But it's also like a possibility to perform some kind of social improvement and process, and it will be propelled by the responsible stakeholders, which are addressed with this method and the toolbox. And what makes this thing unique or special? I think it is about that this kind of method is addressing it's three-dimensional. It's addressing three different kind of stakeholders. It involves, of course, the travelers, but also the stakeholders on the place, and of course, you, the companies also. This Arctic agenda is also now a part of Norrbotten's tourism strategy and strategic roadmap towards 2030. It is also linked to the EU's tourism transition plan, the Global Sustainable Tourism Council's Global Sustainable Criteria, and of course also the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So what we see here is like we want to use this as a tool, and also, like I said, the method, trying to in some way contribute to the realization of the vision being the world's most responsible Arctic destination, which is also, of course, the vision of the strategy of Norrbotten, the tourism strategy of Norrbotten. This is a quick overview over the strategy. Of course, it's like it's like a really thick book, or what is a booklet, but this is the core of the strategy, and the outer the outer framework is the agenda. You see the colored lines, and as you go into the core, you have the vision, and also our 5 prioritized fields of operation, and also, of course, our goal. What's important is that caring is what motivates and makes the propeller spin. And this propeller have we borrowed from the Norwegian national strategy, but they use it in another way. So thank you, Norway, for this idea with the propeller. But we believe a lot in this three-dimensional method. The challenge is the process. How do we do for attracting and involving and engaging all the destination's main stakeholders, as I was talking about earlier, to act in a common direction? The outcome of caring is flourishing. It's our opportunity to, as a community, contribute to a thriving Arctic region. And the surrounding dots are the various advices, calls, appeals, proposals, code of conducts, etc. You can call it many things, adapted for the agenda's different target groups. Well, how does it work? These various advices tries to provide concrete guidance on how the destination's main stakeholders, like the companies, travelers and enablers, can take more responsibility through their actions and also become co-creators of the place. By making active and informed choices, thoughtful decisions, and taking responsibility, we together can generate greater value to our region as a thriving, flourishing place to live and work. But note, this is not for pointing fingers. It's more of a tool for starting conversations around topics of importance, reflecting together. And now I will go into this kind of three different dimensions. And this is the calls for which are adopted for the responsible traveler. There are 6. And as you can see, we have designed this kind of circles and this kind of pictograms for having this to be used in different kind of ways, both for the companies to use on their sites as posters and different kind of things, so on websites and so on. So we all can do some work connecting and informing the travelers. So I will go through these quite quickly because I think the most important thing is for you to get a glimpse of some kind of overview of this, and then you can, in some way, we can continue the process on go deeper into these kind of different kind of pledges or calls. But the first one is respect your fellow human beings. Of course, you can have all this presentation and you get links to where there are more information about this. And we also want the visitors to help protect the Arctic nature. And of course, try to minimize the climate impact. And this is also really important to try to get our visitors to buy locally produced, both of course products, but such as also local food and different kind of promote or buy from local services. Travel safely and securely. We know that we have had some accidents because we are some kind of roadless land, so we have difficulties in when people coming here and then they don't know about this landscape and the conditions. And we also want them to be an informed traveler, that to study where they are going and what's so important for us here at the region. This is the second dimension. It's adopted for you, the companies. And it's a bit heavier stuff for you. We have, I think it's 10 calls or pledges for for you to take act on. The first one is make a plan. For your own company, of course. And this picture, we want to develop this kind of presentation. This picture is from Ripan, Camp Ripan. Where is Ida? Ida, because we want to also get some kind of examples of how we can, how we do this in practice. So this is, I think it's coffee, which are left over from the kitchen, that you use, you process it in some way and then use it as some kind of wrap in your spa. So that's really appreciated by the visitors to get that story. And I know that you are really good on telling also that story. It's towards food waste and this kind of thing, and it's also natural stuff that you will put on your body. So that's really a great idea. This is another concrete example. Show concern for the place. And this is Övertorneå, Lockbjöberget. And we have Sophie here somewhere. There you are. When this was built on a really harsh mountain, you were the whole landscape hotel was designed so it could be dismantled and removed without damaging the nature and the mountain. I think it was only 13 trees that was have to cut down to make space for 38 rooms. So instead of laying the ground and plan for the rooms first, they were looking at how does the tree stands here. So they put the rooms so the trees could be kept. Respect your neighbors and guests. And of course we won't go so deep into this now, but you can take a glimpse of this later on. Act locally in the local network. Minimize your footprint. And this, for instance, it's an example of an ecotourism company that they could preserve the general store in a really very small village. Both preserve the store and also they could also get the train station to remain, because the government was supposed to shut it down. But due to this tourism business, they could have the opportunity to stay with this train station. And it's really important because most of the visitors to this eco lodge comes with train from Germany. And also make it easy for the guest to do the right thing. This is, I was thinking, because there are always so nice signs when you do the breakfast. Where do these come from, and so locally and so on. But I think, on average, a lot of companies do a lot of good things when it comes to sustainability. But I don't think we are so keen on informing and communicating this kind of thing. We take it much for granted. I don't think we value enough all the good things that we do and take the possibility to also inform our guests. And another thing is being a good employer. We know that we have really great concerns regarding the possibility to hire and retaining the staff. Of course, also provide safe experiences, and this is really important, the Arctic hospitality. That's something that we share, to be a hospitable host. And this was something connected to the topic yesterday. Try to choose the right guests. That's really important. And this is something that every destination in the world struggles with, because this is really something that affects the possibilities for the destinations to grow sustainable. When it comes to the enablers, we have 7 pledges, calls, and acting as a responsible business person or visitors can only be possible under the right conditions. For this to be possible, the sustainable journey, enablers as municipality, regional actors, public authorities, and others must also take their responsibility on the journey towards the vision. And of course, collaboration is crucial for success, realizing sustainable development. So we would like to make a proposal for the enablers also to do the journey with us by also collaborate locally. This is also really important. We know in Norrbotten we have a lacking of knowledge about the complex tourism system. And if we don't have enough of knowledge in this kind of ecosystem, surrounding ecosystem, we have really difficulties to come through with our obstacles, and also, of course, the possibilities to realize. And this is another thing, clarify the use of responsible land use. I had a chat with the mayor yesterday after his speech, and he said that here in Kirkenes, they had brought up this kind of tourist master plan, and that is what we dream for in Norrbotten. Local master plans for the tourism to have the possibility to be built into the planning of the development of the societies. Increase accessibility, that is also our shared obstacle. And this also foster a business-friendly climate. I think this is really something that a lot of municipalities in Norrbotten are struggling with. But they are on this topic, and it's a lot of small and medium-sized enterprises in this, and often the municipalities has some kind of difficulties in working with so many companies and small companies. So this is also really something that most of the municipalities want to improve in this field, but we have a lot to do there in Norrbotten. And this, attract and retain the right co-workers. And this also is really important. Stimulate change and innovation. And we also think that, as I said earlier, that this kind of method, Care for the Arctic, it's our home, is also like an innovation. And we want the public sector to act, have the courage and also the possibilities to act in an innovative way together with the tourism sector in the region. Conclusion. Care for the Arctic, it's our home. It will only become what we together make it into. It was, as the mayor said yesterday, the easiest way is to do nothing. But if we do nothing, care for the Arctic, it's our home, it becomes just another phrase, marketing phrase. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Annika, for a great presentation.
You want to say some questions?
Yes,
No.
Before you leave the stage, I think this is a very interesting topic to many of us here. Does anybody have any questions or any comments for Annika?
Totally clear.
Totally clear.
Check.
Check. But then I will ask a question.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned, of course, the guests, you mentioned the companies, you mentioned the enablers. How are you communicating this to them, and how have the different target groups received this Arctic agenda?
We had done some focus groups with the companies, because we are only in the beginning of this journey, and the response has been really great, because we see also the value of have something in common together to do some kind of, it's a glue to connecting the businesses and also with the society. So the first the response is really positive, but I will be honest, we are just in the beginning. So as I told you earlier, the real struggle is to the process. How can we make this propelling and involving and engaging the companies, and also, of course, all the stakeholders. So we will continue the work, do things, test them, see what the response is, and also what do function and what does not function. So I think we are brave by having this kind of approach also, because we don't know everything. And we will also try to do some tests regarding the travelers also. But we have done some early, really briefly tests, but it has also, the response has also been really good, because they get this kind of idea, this kind of destination. They want something, and they also have claims on us coming here as guests. So the ones that we have, been in touch with, they take it only positively, and they would like to be a part of it.
That's really good to hear. That's really good to hear. And when it comes to engaging the companies, I think that already being here today and the work that we are about to do is part of this.
Yeah.
So let's see how today goes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Annika.
Thank you.
And, a big applause.